Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Doug Johnson, and each month we feature a local business person who really has some strategies for success that can help all of us. This month's guest is an internationally recognized coach, a speaker, an author. She has done so much, a workshop facilitator, and I'm going to use my cheat sheet to tell you about some of the awards that she has won. She's been a Keynote Speaker of the Year 2013, named a Bright Star 2013 Top 100 Podcasts by Small Business Trends, 2012 Top 100 Sales Experts, nominated as a Keynote Speaker of the Year 2012, nominated as a Small Business Influencer 2011, Startup Nation Leading Moms in Business 2010, Lakewood Chamber of Commerce Outstanding New Member 2010, and Cozy 10 Under 10 Award 2009. And I get tired just reading this. She's also president of Seize This Day Coaching. Let me introduce you to my friend, Diane Helbig. Diane, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's so nice to have you here. You know, we've known one another quite a while.
Yes.
And when I talk with you and when I hear your name, I always associate you with the term clarity. And I know that you have done a video clip on business clarity, and hopefully we're going to watch the clip, and then you can tell us how that relates to everyday life.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Diane Helbig with Seize This Day Coaching. I am passionate about helping business professionals and leaders create strategies and structure they can use to advance themselves, their career, and their businesses, and I am thrilled to be here. Thank you, Rita, for the opportunity to share. I am going to be talking to you very quickly about strategies for business success. And clarity is my favorite word, so I have wrapped my ideas around the word clarity. I have them here. If you don't want to write them down, you can just grab one of these for me later and you've got it. C is calendarize. Put those tasks on a calendar. It's the way you're going to get them done because you're very, very busy and your life takes over and your business takes over. So make sure you get that done. L is listen. You have to listen to yourself, listen to your clients, your prospects, your employees, and your associates. There is real wisdom there for you to take. A is acknowledge. Acknowledge your accomplishments. This is critical for business success. Oftentimes what we do is we say, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. Of course, that happened. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm in business. You know what? Not everybody's doing it. Not everybody's being successful. So take the moment. Acknowledge those accomplishments. R, rapport. Build rapport with the people around you, with your clients, with your prospects, with your associates, the people you network with, the people that you meet. Business and sales are about relationship building. So get out there and do it and be thinking about that. It also helps you figure out who you should be in relationships with and who you shouldn't. I, innovate. We always have to be creating. Sometimes it's innovating with our marketing and our sales. Sometimes it's innovating with our products and our services. But the way that we keep our businesses successful and growing is we're innovating. T, be thankful. Be thankful for the opportunity to actually be doing something every day. Be thankful for your clients, for your successes. Be thankful for your trials because they make you stronger and they make you a better business person. And Y is yardstick. Measure things with a yardstick. No bigger, no smaller. When we break things down into, I like simplicity, I like clarity, right? Because it makes things simple and they're easier to accomplish, and then we can acknowledge those accomplishments. So you see, when it's all said and done, the way that we get business success is by having clarity. Thank you.
So Diane,
Yes.
we've seen that clip. Fascinating.
Thank you.
And related to business. So now how can you relate all that to those of us living our everyday lives?
It's a really good question. And I, as you know, because you think of clarity when you hear my name, clarity is my favorite word because it's the only way we can really get anything done is to be really clear about it. So I have a saying, I can only live in reality, won't you join me here? Okay. Because most people don't live in reality. We do the I wish, I should, I could, all of these things that prevent us from actually accomplishing things and getting them done. Reality has a lot to do with clarity. When we are really clear about this is my circumstance, this is the situation, then we can create plans and strategies for getting ourselves from where we are to where we want to be if we're not happy where we are.
Okay. So clarity figures into this how?
Okay. So clarity for me means a lot of things. Authenticity.
Okay.
Being realistic.
Yep.
Using a yardstick. So, you know, when I do the letters and why is a yardstick, having real clarity around where is it that you really want to be in your life and really how are you going to go about making that happen? Because when you're clear about it, you can then explain it to other people and get their buy-in to help you accomplish those things. None of us does anything alone, right? We need other people to either nurture us on our way or provide us guidance or support, whatever it is. We have to first have the clarity about this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, and then, therefore, this is what I need.
Okay.
Right? If we don't have clarity about where we're going, then we don't know what we need to get us there, and we don't know when we're there. So, see where I'm going with that?
So the yardstick for measuring, when we get there.
Yardstick for measuring.
Okay. And also, I've heard you say a lot, ask for help.
Yes.
And so many of us don't do that because we're afraid or we don't know what the answer is going to be.
Right.
So can you enlarge on that?
Certainly. So I don't think any of us really ever gets where we're going by ourselves. I don't think anyone is an overnight success or wakes up one morning and everything is exactly the way they want it to be. It takes work and decision making and other people. So the first thing that we really probably want to embrace is that we don't know everything and we're not expected to know everything. No one expects you to have all the answers. You know, I'm a mom, and my kids think I have all the answers and I know everything.
Well, you are so lucky.
And I don't, but I know where to go get them.
Okay.
Right? I know where the resources are and the people to help me in my personal journey and my business journey. It makes it easier. You're not struggling, you're not fighting an uphill battle. And why would you want to spend time trying to figure out things that aren't really in your area of expertise anyway in life?
Right.
We have our things we're supposed to be good at, and then we want to gather resources around us who are good at what they do to help support us on our journey.
I think that's such a key point.
Thanks.
You know, surround yourselves with people who can help you get where you want to go and also who can help measure you.
Yes.
And they can say, you're not really there yet, or wow, you nailed it, you're there.
Yeah, right.
So
they're a real support system for you, right? And part of being a support system is being realistic, once again, being honest, and because support isn't just saying yes and cheer, cheer, you're doing wonderful, you're doing great. Support is about, you're not quite there yet. Now, what do you need in order to get you there? And we want to surround ourselves with people who believe in us, who are supportive of us, and who are honest with us.
Talk about this honesty, because, and I say this honesty because that is such a critical thing. And so many of us, when we're asked, well, how did I do? Oh, you did great. So how does one be honest and say, you really weren't so good?
You do it with heart, I will say. If you really have someone's best interest in mind and you want to help them get where they want to be, you have to be honest with them. It doesn't mean you have to be harsh. It doesn't mean you have to be mean. If someone's not quite where they need to be, you can be gentle about telling them. You can still be supportive. So really probably one of the best ways to be honest is say the good first. Okay? So what was good? And then it's a matter of where they might want to do some work. It's always, For me, it's not as direct. It's not you need to. Like no one wants to hear that.
The
No
old
one
finger point.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
No one wants to listen to that. They shut down. They stop listening. Nothing good is going to come from that. But if you say to somebody, I noticed that when you did that, you were saying this or choosing this decision or this behavior, and it didn't seem to quite work as well for you. You can ask questions to see what are they thinking, where are they with it, because a lot of times when people aren't quite where they need to be, they're not comfortable with it either. And when you can pull them into that where they say, yeah, you know, that didn't quite jive with me, then you can engage them in conversation.
And that they kind of admit it to themselves too, because now you've kind of validated their own feelings.
In a nice, open sort of productive way. I say, you know, supportive a lot, but it's productive because it's supportive.
Okay. You talked about getting there, kind of with a roadmap, and I know you roadmap for businesses.
I do.
How does one roadmap for personal life?
Actually, in the same way.
Okay.
So road mapping for me is visualizing where you want to be as if you're already there.
Okay.
So you close your eyes, you ask yourself questions, you try and paint a picture in your head of, I'm there, this is what it looks like, and you try and be as descriptive as possible. It could be, this is where I'm living, this is the job that I'm doing, this is what my kids are up to, whatever it is. This is the car I have, it doesn't matter. Whatever that goal is that you have, you picture yourself as if you were already there, as if you'd already achieved it. And then you write that down. So it's a thing. Because when we write it down, when we commit it to paper, then that thought becomes a thing. And then, just like road mapping for business, you back it up to, in order to get there, what do I have to do?
Which becomes the roadmap.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, for instance, I would like, or I own a red Corvette convertible.
Okay. Good
And
for
then
you.
back up, how am I going to get there?
Right.
Okay.
What do I need to do? So, it costs a certain amount of money. I have a certain amount of money. If there's a gap, what do I need to do?
To fill that gap.
Exactly. So what can I start walking down the road? I call it road mapping. You take action steps toward getting where it is you want to go. You have to start here right now with one decision. So I believe with road mapping, you break it down into very small steps because they're easier to achieve.
Okay.
You celebrate them because you've actually accomplished something towards your goal. And people find it much easier to get where they want to go because it's not this big, huge thing anymore. You know, it's not this, oh my gosh, a red Corvette, right?
Right.
Now it's, I got to go get this job and sock away this amount of money every week.
Okay. So the small goals on the way to the big goal.
Right.
Okay. And you said celebrate the ending or the success of each little goal, mini goal.
I believe that you have to acknowledge your successes, no matter how small you might think that they are, because this is what we do. We say to ourselves, okay, but I should have done that. I was supposed to do that. Why would I celebrate that? And the answer is because you actually did it when there are so many people in the world who want, who dream, who goal set, but don't take the steps to get there. It is a big deal. And celebrating and acknowledging makes you more likely to do more.
So the old positive reinforcement.
Right.
It works.
It works.
Okay. The name of your company is Seize This Day Coaching.
Yes.
How did you come up with that? What does it mean?
Well, I started out with Seize the Day, Carpe Diem, right? And I'm pretty sure I started it because when I was growing up, my mother used to say, just the sun rising in the morning is reason enough to be alive. And I embraced that belief, really wrapped around, and because of that, when the sun rises and I get up in the morning, then I should make the most of that day. I changed it to Seize This Day Coaching because I really feel like we should be this day. Why wait? The day seems sort of random. We could just pick a day, but seizing this day was more action-oriented. It was more in the moment. What are you waiting for?
Okay, makes sense. Absolutely. And on one of those days that you chose, you started to write a book.
Yes.
And you completed it.
I did.
Actually, Lemonade Stand Selling.
Yes.
And I understand now you are in the process and you have just received a publisher for a new book.
That is true.
So can you tell us about the books and what's in them and what's good about them?
So what's good about them?
What's good
Everything's
about
good about them. You
Okay,
should all run
good.
out and buy them. Lemonade Stand Selling, I wrote mainly for small business owners who don't know how to sell.
Okay.
And the concept really is that selling is as easy as it was when you had a lemonade stand and you didn't really think about it. You weren't thinking about what if they say no. You weren't stopping yourself from doing the things that you need to do in sales. So it's a very simple, straightforward guide to the sales process. And really, the principles in it apply to anything. They apply to life, really. It's don't be afraid to talk to people, to meet people, to engage with others, to learn about others, to see if there's ways that you can help people, because when we help others, we elevate ourselves and we feel better and we're more apt to do the things that we need and want to do in life. So, and that's really what sales is really about. It's really about helping people. The other book is called Expert Insights, and it's 10 of the most listened to shows on my radio show, my podcast that I do twice a month. And what I wanted to do there was bring that expertise that those folks, which I bring guests on my show, like you do here, and I wanted to bring that expertise into a book form so that people could really learn those lessons from various guests in one place, really. Different business lessons.
And those are all also applicable to everyday life.
They really are. It's really interesting. We have everything from customer service to entrepreneurial DNA to cold calling, which is having conversations with strangers, you know, which a lot of people don't. I know, it's this really, you know, strange thing. To goal setting. So really, interestingly, anything that you're going to apply to your business, you can apply to your life. Because it's all of those lessons of moving forward, getting up every day and doing something, accomplishing something, and moving down the road.
Diane, you just validated the whole show. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah. Talk, if you would, about some more of the lemonade stand selling, the fear of cold calling. And why are we so afraid to do that?
That's an interesting question. Now, I think we're afraid to do it because we're afraid that the other person's going to be mean. And that they're going to hang up on us. Or they're going to say no. And all of those are possible, but the vast majority of people aren't mean, and they're not going to hang up on you. But at the same time, I don't necessarily believe that we have to cold call. If it's not something that you're comfortable with, my belief in sales, and part of the reason I wrote the book was, there are things that you have to do, right? You have to reach out to people, you have to communicate with people, you have to connect, but how you do it is really based on you, your comfort level, your personality, your target market. There's all sorts of ways that you can get it done by really identifying what is the problem that I solve and who do I solve it for. And then understanding that what you really want is to find out about the other person so that you can identify whether you have a solution. People are afraid of selling because they think they're supposed to be convincing people of something. They're supposed to be manipulating them or persuading them or coercing them or, you know, use any other word that doesn't have a good connotation, and that no one wants to do that. And so what I'm saying is, please don't do that, because you're right. Nobody wants to be treated that way. Right? If you figure out that you have a solution to a problem, but you don't know whether the person's got that problem or not, you need to ask them questions and listen. That's it. And the same is true for when you network. And cold calling, going to an event, talking to somebody, you want to ask questions, you want to be quiet, you want them to talk. And everyone will tell you they can do that.
Well, and it's interesting, the word listen, because so many of us, you know, and I think my mother used to say, okay, you only have one mouth and two ears.
That's right.
There's a reason for that.
That's right.
So in real life, everyday life, as opposed to business, how important is listening?
Oh my gosh. Listening is the most important skill anybody can have in any life environment, any place you are. When we are talking, it's all about us, right? When we're listening, it's all about the other person. So when you want to build friendships, when you want to date and find a spouse, when you want to learn in school, when you want to teach someone how to do something, if you have children and you want them to respect you and listen to you, you know what, you gotta be listening to them. That's how you learn.
Right.
And that's how you really connect with other people and let them know they matter, which is really why we're here.
One of the terms that you just said was respect. You talk about respect a little bit.
I do.
That's so important.
Respect is really important, and there's respect for other people and there's respect for yourself, and they're both so tremendously important in life. It's my belief that we all have reasons to respect ourselves, and we need to embrace what those reasons are. And it's not being boastful, it's not being arrogant, it's not thinking that we're better than anybody else. It's just loving ourselves and respecting that, you know, warts and all, we're here for a reason, and we're good people. And when we respect ourselves, then we're able to respect other people. So when you have respect for yourself, you have a confidence level that you know you're going to make mistakes, and you know you're not perfect. You know you're not the most wonderful thing in the world. Maybe you're working on stuff, but you're good people, and you care about other people, and you care enough about yourself not to let other people treat you badly.
I think that is a huge...
It's a huge thing. Dr. Phil says we teach people how to treat us. And it's really true. It's true in life, it's true in business, it's true everywhere. And when you respect yourself, you make sure that that people treat you well, that you don't put up with people not treating you well because you're worth more. And that you surround yourself with the people who respect you, who love you, who are going to treat you well. Because that's really how we elevate ourselves, right? And therefore, how we elevate other people. And so, I don't think you can respect other people if you don't respect yourself. I think the people who treat other people badly aren't real happy with themselves, and they should really start here.
Okay.
And then they will be able to appreciate what's good in other people. Part of the reason we don't respect other people is because we can't appreciate what's good in them.
So, respect being so important. If someone doesn't really respect themselves, what is the first step maybe on the roadmap to respect themselves?
Interestingly, I'm going to go back to my mother.
Okay.
My mother was so wise. She's still with us. She is so wise. She used to say, take a look at the people around you who you respect, who are in your life, who you respect, and ask yourself the question, if I wasn't worthy of respect, why would they be hanging around? Like, why would they be my friend? Why would they even bother with me if there wasn't something good and worthy in me? Because sometimes the first step to respecting yourself is owning that other people respect you, right? Sometimes when we can't see it in ourselves, right? To say, well, I love Jimmy. And Jimmy respects me, Jimmy loves me. You know what? There must be something to me if someone who I hold in that high esteem has chosen to be my friend. The other part of it is that we can do an inventory of ourselves. Do a T-chart. What's good? What do we think is good and bad? Chances are good the goods are going to outweigh the bad. And it's hard. People, for some reason, I don't know why it is, they don't want to spend time acknowledging their good. Right? I don't know. I don't know if it's because we're told we're being egotistical or something when we're kids,
or
right?
Boastful.
We should be we should be
boast
humble.
about yourself.
Right. Well, you can be humble and be honest. Right? We're going back to honesty.
Right.
Be humble and honest at exactly the same time. Earlier, I said I can only live in reality. Won't you join me here? And this is part of what I'm talking about. It's reality. It's not being boastful. It's not being immodest. It's saying, you know what? This is who I am. And it's good, and that's okay. That you're allowed to like yourself, that's a good thing. If there's things, you know, T-chart, good side, bad side. If there's stuff on the bad side, then there's stuff you have to work on. We all have stuff we have to work on. That's okay too.
Great. Well, Diane, I think that's a great place to end our conversation.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you again
thank
so
you.
much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
It has for me too.
I'd like to tell you about another case of stupid people syndrome, or as some people call it, common sense deficit disorder. Back in 2004, Virgin Airways decided to redesign the men's rooms in their area of the airport at JFK Airport. So here's what they did. They decided to remodel and install men's urinals in the shape of women's mouths in a bright red color. When this news became public, there was a huge public outcry. Well, duh,